Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Countdown to Game Day. I am Rich Mcgowan, the high school sports reporter at the Savannah Morning News, and I'm here to tell you everything you need to know before heading out to the stadium. Now, last week had a few surprises as Effingham County looked very good in defeating Liberty County, giving me my only long prediction in the last 2 weeks. Thanks a lot, Rebels. In other action, Benedictine rolled easily past Jeff Davis, and Savannah Country Day rallied to beat Jenkins County. In a pair of games that were closer than the score indicates, Calvary Day was edged out by Trutland 36-7, while Bryan County gave defending Class Single A champs Emmanuel County Institute a real good game, but fell 36-8. I know those scores sound lopsided, but believe me, those were some very good games. Now, on to week 4, and while it may not be the strongest week on the schedule we'll see this season, if you look closely, there are some interesting games to be found, so let's get started. First up is a game that was originally scheduled for September 5th, but Tropical Storm Hannah forced it to be postponed until this week when 0-2 Johnson travels to 2-0 Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill is coming off a 28-22 victory over Savannah High last week, giving the Wildcats their first 2-0 start since 1994. With another win, Richmond Hill will have matched its highest win total since the 1996 season. As this is the last game before starting region play, this is a crucial game for Richmond Hill's confidence because while the Wildcats are improved, they are going into a newly realigned Region 3 AAA, and that region will be a challenge for the Wildcats. Despite losing 26-12 to South Effingham last week, Johnson showed it can be competitive as the Atom Smashers scored on their first possession of the game, becoming the first team to put the ball in the end zone against the Mustang defense. But Johnson has to avoid turning the ball over as the Smashers lost 3 fumbles and threw 2 interceptions to the Mustangs last week. Now, Johnson has been in its first 2 games, but hasn't been able to snap its 25-game losing streak quite yet. I think the Atom Smashers are close to getting that elusive victory, but it's not going to be this week. I like Richmond Hill to win this one, 30-24. In Effingham County, the Rebels are a team that will pound the ball on the ground in a cloud of dust, and they host a team that will look to make big plays through the air. That team is Windsor Forest. Last week, the Rebels got all of their 336 yards on the ground thanks to the running of Stephen Tarpley, Michael Hamilton, and Michael Johnson in a 23-10 win over Liberty County. Now, these backs have nice speed and they run hard, and last week repeatedly broke tackles for big chunks of yardage in last week's win over the Panthers. Windsor possesses one of the area's most potent passing attacks, led by quarterback Donovan Campbell. Campbell has averaged 10 completions for 167 yards through 2 games and has 4 touchdown passes. So look for the Knights to continue to spread the field. In week 1, Windsor Forest ran into a similar run-oriented offense in Benedictine, similar to what they're going to face this week against Effingham. In that game, the Knights had trouble keeping the Cadets under wraps. Last week, Effingham kept Liberty County, which runs a spread offense, very close to what Windsor Forest is going to do. In that game, the Rebels kept the Panthers in check. I liked what I saw from the Rebels defense last week, but I think the Knights defense still has a little work to do stopping the run. And that is why I like Effingham County to win a close one, 17-14. Benedictine makes the trip down to Blackshear in a matchup of Region 2 AA teams whose seasons could not have started out more differently if they tried when the 3-0 Cadets face the 0-3 Pierce County Bears. BC has been impressive to begin the season, eating up huge chunks of yardage with the running game. The offensive line, considered the team's biggest question mark at the start of the year, is now a strength. The Cadets are also +6 in turnover margin through 3 games, causing 7 takeaways and losing just 1 fumble. The Cadets are coming off a 42-7 swatting of the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets. Pierce County, on the other hand, figured to be a contender in the region, but instead is reeling after dropping its first 3 games. Now, to be fair, the Bears' schedule has been brutal, facing programs in Cook, Coffee County, and Charlton County, but the fact that the veteran-laden Bears have been outscored 89-0 is nothing short of stunning. Now, at the start of the season, I had this game circled on my calendar as a huge game for the Cadets to show how competitive they'll be in a very difficult region. But after the first 3 weeks of the season, Pierce County needs this game. It is a must-win for Pierce County, and they have to get it against a very good BC team. I'm not sure how high the Bears' confidence is, and I know BC's is sky high. That is why I like the Cadets 21-7. Don't let anyone tell you good football can't be found at small schools, because we've got a pair of small schools playing in this week's Game of the Week when Memorial Day School visits Bible Baptist. Memorial Day is led by its big play threats Shad Wright and Antonio Proctor and quarterback Sal Sanchez. After a 2-9 season last year, the Blue Thunder has turned things around in a hurry as Memorial is off to its first 3-0 start since 2003. Memorial's biggest win was its last one, a 27-14 victory over GISA Power Thomas Jefferson Academy 2 weeks ago. I went out to Memorial Day this week to talk to Coach Michael Thompson about his team and the Blue Thunder's secret to its sudden success.
Summer workouts. I mean, maturity level, we had those 4 leaders for 2 years now. I mean, these boys are stepping up. We had transfers come in and know their role and doing their responsibilities on the field. So we think maturity and people coming together at the right time has really helped us, and that's why we at 3-0 right now.
If Memorial is to go to 4-0, it'll have to get past Bible Baptist. The Braves have won 2 in a row and are led by sophomore quarterback Jarrell Richards. Last week's Player of the Week, Richards enters Friday's game having completed 51% of his passes for 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also run for a team-high 277 yards and 4 more scores. He's not the Braves' only threat, however, as Tevin Thomas has 13 receptions and Nick Steiny has 243 yards on just 28 carries. Now, if your team has a bye this weekend, do yourself a favor and check out these 2 teams. They're chock full of skill and talent, and I think this could be a very entertaining game. In the end, I think Memorial Day has just too much momentum going for it, and that is why I like the Thunder 28-18. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to check back right here next week at savannahnow.com/prepcentral next Thursday for another edition of Countdown to Game Day. For the Savannah Morning News, I'm Rich Mcgowan.